In other words, you yourself is a separate ecosystem. I was talking about ecosystems, no? Tundra, taiga, tropical rainforest, ocean, mountain, desert. These are all ecosystems. And they contain, as I told you, producers, consumers, and decomposers. Every ecosystem is sustainable in that way. They live millions of years. Once they reach their equilibrium, I was showing a demonstration for you. Until humans arrive, the ecosystem reached the balance and equilibrium. It is called climax ecosystem. That's a technical word. Learn, it's a beautiful word. Climax ecosystem. That means everything is balanced. The energy flow is balanced, and the production is balanced, the consumption is balanced, decomposers are doing a wonderful job, and it's a time of peace and tranquility. So in an ecosystem, that is the heaven, in other words. So climax ecosystem, until humans arrive. When humans added to the climax ecosystem conditions, everything changes, everything goes out of balance. So you are an ecosystem. Somebody was talking, one Tamil lady came and told Andam and Pindam. There are two words in India. We use Andam means cosmos, Andam. Pindam means our body. So Andam, Pindam, they sound the same. So the Indian sage says, the world is not out there, the world is here. You are the earth, in other words. That is an illusion. It's a Maya, illusion. This is the real earth, he says. In outer world, 75% is water, isn't it? At least 75%. That's a 3/3 water. 1/3 is land where you have the carbon, the bones, all those stuff, no? 1/3 you contain there. The rest of the stuff, fire, ether, and air, you have another 2%, let's say. So you see, it is a reflection, actually your own reflection. Actually you are seeing yourself out there. So if you see beautiful world, that means your body is beautiful, your inner ecology. Pindam means inner human ecology, in other words. Pindam means the resources, what you have inside. And if you are ruled by truth and love and empathy, the outer world will be also ruled by empathy and compassion and goodness. If your human ecology ruled by greed, violence, and self-interest, that is also going to be ruled by self-interest. So today we are adding human ecology. So you saw what happened. Our little two youngsters, I added them to the ecosystem, completely ruined, completely gone. Everything goes berserk. So better not to add human ecology at all. But that is not true. We are already in the ecology. We forced ourselves into ecology. So now you have producers inside of you. We have producers, we have consumers, we have decomposers. All the three components, it is an ecosystem. Andam, Pindam. So this is the, in a beautiful English, we can express that in the following way. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. That's a beautiful English. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. You are the universe. You are a galaxy. You are the earth. You are the solar system. So everything you have, you can produce, you can use them, and you can recycle them infinitely. So every ecosystem is connected. The ocean ecosystem is connected with the land. Land ecosystem is connected with the biosphere, life. Life is connected with the atmosphere, and everything is connected with the hydrosphere, the water world. Everything is related. We are all connected. So now, human ecosystem also should be connected by taking the biological wealth. So, but now, so far, we didn't see inside. If you had seen inside what resources you had, you would have never even touched outside. That is the amount of stuff you have within each and every person. You are the most richest ecosystem in the better than other ecosystem. You are richer than tropical rainforest. You are richer than ocean. You are richer than savanna. You are richer than even grasslands or agricultural land. You have got such a beautiful resources like empathy. I love empathy. One word they used to describe altruism, that is the word. Altruism is defined or explained by kindness, compassion, mercy, empathy, all that stuff, no? So you care for others and you feel exactly the same. You put yourself in their shoes and suffer. So you worry about other people and you want to be part of other people's lives. So, and you have other gifts, resources like generosity, nobility, forgiveness, tolerance, patience. There are 350 resources I have already identified in one of my book, human resources. So your resources are, they are like spring. You take them out, the spring charges immediately. Immediately they are replenished. But outer resources, you take them, they are not replenished, they are lost to the planet forever. You take gold, they are not renewable resource. They are non-renewable. In other words, it will not come back. So if you take coal, coal is non-renewable, out. Fossil fuel non-renewable. They won't spring out. But human resources can be replenished. They are renewable immediately. You give and you give and you get it. A person who gives always receives. Such a fountain of life is deep within you. So that is one. Another is values. And we have moral conduct, moral behavior. And you practice righteousness, social justice. If you have solidarity, if you practice solidarity, you would have never even put your hand in a mine and take resources. And enough, the feeling that I have everything, enough, I don't want, it's opposite to greed. So if you have said enough, you would have never put the holes, you would never drilled the earth. The earth would have never had stigmata. Even Francis Assisi has only 5 stigmatas. Jesus had only 5 stigmatas, wounds, but planet Earth has 550 stigmatas. Everywhere, holes, holes, holes. See, doesn't have, we have. Then we have faithfulness, responsibility, accountability, ethics, everything we have inside. But we acted as if we don't have anything, we are empty inside. That is the foundation on which we, so for business as usual, humans behave. That's the reason why you destroy ecosystem. If you had seen inside what your human ecology is all about, you would have contributed to the betterment of the ecosystem. You would have enriched the ecosystem. Just by giving empathy, just appreciating what we have, you are already connected with the earth. The most disastrous feeling is that we are not yet connected with the earth. Every creature is connected. If frog is going extinct today, Mother Earth will argue, no, I want frog, because frog keeps the environment clean and they control mosquitoes. So they are absolutely necessary for the common good of the earth and common good of the ecosystem. If human species today disappear, Mother Earth wouldn't argue. Because what good we can do? So far we are not connected. We didn't prove that we are absolutely necessary species for the earth. We didn't prove it. We are like a scavenger. You take, and you are like an opportunist. You take whatever you want, but you never contribute. In other words, we take, and take more. We didn't give back. That's the point. We give back something. What? Stick bags. That's what we give back. We give back carbon monoxide. We give back carbon dioxide, methane, all this noxious gases we give back to Mother Earth. You know Stephen Hawking? Everybody knows Stephen Hawking. The Parkinson disease scientist sitting in a wheelchair all the time, and he uses a computer to interpret his language. He's the smartest man on the planet, but he's crippled. The smartest man, that is his human ecology. He is the smartest man. Even though he's crippled, his natural resources are within intact. Existed 4 billion years. Human has come to the point now where he can even create life. I mean, he's talking about, what is that? Not out of nothing, with something you can create, okay? We produce baby, not out of nothing. There is a man and a woman, so it's not out of nothing. So we take God's creation and we produce something, okay? Ex nihilo means out of nothing. So now man has come to a point. So far, we couldn't create like a magic one life. Okay, boom, life. Now we can create. And he says, what life we have created? Only one life so far we have created. Computer virus. Computer virus. Hawking says, I consider virus as a life. After all, man at last able to create life, but he didn't create a benign life. He created a bad life, which is put in the service of disaster. We couldn't even create a life which can be used for promotion, but for disaster. That is what human ecology. Yes, we identified the bad stuff in human ecology: greed, violence, hatred, all that stuff, jealousy. That is what we have given to the natural ecosystem. So that is why disaster. But we have all good stuff, as I told you, but we didn't identify that. So now we can go still deeper and find out what else we have. Now we have faith, hope, charity. That is also human ecology. And your faith asks you to do benign things, good stuff to the ecosystem. Help, understand, and promote life. See, your religious part, that's also human ecology. It is deep within you. So much of resources. If I ask you what human ecology is all about, if you have time today, we will have small discussion groups. We will send them this afternoon. Only human ecology. What kind of resources you have. And what could be given to natural ecosystem hereafter. Okay, one thing is we give compassion to Mother Earth. If you give compassion, you would never ever dig the earth. You will continue to dig yourself, not dig the outer world. Don't dig the earth, dig yourself. That is what is lacking right now. So for a new vision of ecology or integral ecology, we need to give, and give. It's enough taking out. So today, all the ecological crisis today, Pope is talking about climate change and poverty, extinction of species, issue of water. All those things can be healed by human ecology. Don't think Pope is telling, okay, there are 5 billion people are poor, so all of them should become rich, no hungry, nothing. Take the resources and give to them and bring to the European level. No, he's not telling that because there are no resources there. Only 20% is remaining. So there is not sufficient resources. But he's saying, give your human ecology, give your generosity, sharing, and justice. I have too much. So you give your human ecology. You can fix all the problems. And responsibility, discipline. See how many things you have. You can give these things to heal planet Earth from within you. That's what he is writing. I'm going to ask you to read what Pope is writing. So at last, I'm telling you, God is not out there. Most of us are searching God in the planet, maybe in Rome, maybe in Velankani, or maybe in Mecca, Medina, or in Medagogy, Luz, Fatima, or in Varanasi, Kasi, or in Ayodhya. No, God is within you. That is human ecology. You own a God. For God's sake, I'm telling you. It's right there and you're running all over the world to find God. And you made a long journeys polluting the earth to find God. The biggest carbon emission comes finding God. Pilgrimages. And going to Sunday Mass and all that piety things, no? The biggest carbon emission is finding God. God is responsible for biggest pollution. Humans is not. But humans do that. See? You have made a longest journey, you never MC square. Tirumular says, Andathililladu, Pindathilillai, Pindathililladu, Andathilillai. Simple. Andam, Pindam. Tirumular say, everything is happening here. Where is the volcano? He asks. Volcano is not there. Volcano is here. When you scream, when you get angry, and when you go crazy, volcano, Krakatau volcano is spewing out carbon dioxide. Volcano is here within you. Tsunami is not out there, it's in Pindam, it's within you. Wife and husband throw the stuff, take the pillow and hit each other. The kids get mad and ruin everything in the house. Tsunami is happening. Earthquake is within you. Your father, mother, somebody died, some accident, you shake and shiver. Especially in charismatic meeting, you shiver too much. Hallelujah. Lot of things are happening. Tsunami, volcano, earthquake. 3 of them together happening in a charismatic meeting. Full of energy. And then it is, look at your body. Many people, we don't even see our bodies because maybe it is a sin. No, it's a virtue. See your body. First of all, know who you are, how I look. When you see your body at the back, it looks like a desert ecosystem. So all the ecosystems are in your body. That is the point Thirumoolar is telling. This is the desert ecosystem. Look at the completely nothing is out there. Only sand dunes are there. The bones, no? The dunes. You come little down, you see small mountains there. Small hillocks. And then you come down there and you see rivers. The Nile, the Brahmaputra, Amazon, the biggest rivers right here. And I think that is enough imagination, I guess. And you come a little and you see caves and caverns and valleys and mountain passes. And you come, you find the greatest mountain chains like Himalayas or Alps or Andes mountain chains. And then you come a little higher, you find small forests, taiga forests here and there. And you find tundra forests right here. You find tropical rainforests right here. The magic and also biodiversity we have in our body. Lot of leeches, lot of cooties in the air. Plenty of this cooties and this cooties are different. Remember, each ecosystem has their own cooties. Yeah. They don't survive here, they don't survive there, nothing happens. Everybody has their own unique biodiversity. What I'm telling you is, I think that imagination is enough. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. That's it. Andam is not out there. All Andam is in the kingdom. So you are the earth, you are the universe, and you are destroying yourself. Pope is writing in the paragraph numbers 2, you are made out of soil and water. I want to read that. Somebody take paragraph number 2, please. Yeah.
This sister now cries out to us because of the harm we have inflicted on her by our irresponsible use and abuse of the goods with which God has endowed her. We have come to see ourselves as the lords and masters, entitled to plunder her at will. The violence present in our hearts, wounded by sin, is also reflected in the symptoms of sickness evident in the soil, in the water, in the air, and in all forms of life. That is why the earth herself, burdened and laid waste, is among the most abandoned and maltreated of our poor. She grows in travail. We have forgotten that we ourselves are dust of the earth. Our very bodies are made up of her elements. We breathe her air, and we receive life and refreshment from her waters.
That is beautifully put in by Pope Francis. In other words, you are the earth. Yes. So now this is human ecology. You are an ecosystem. Now you have to be connected with the rivers, with oceans, with lands, with grasslands, with tropical rainforests. We are fragmented now. Way too far fragmented. We are very far away to reach to them because we thought we are separate from them. Now Pope is telling you are integral with them. Walk toward nature and connect. That's all. It's about connection. So we are not yet connected. The day we make established connection, that is the day we belong here. But unfortunately, our history did not do. And also, we don't know how to connect. Father, you tell me how to connect. I will say, how to connect? How to connect? Then I end up, how to connect? Even I don't know. Bill Gates is poor, Warren Buffett is poor, and Anil Ambani, they are the most poor people because they never say enough. They want more money. They are the poor. If you see inside and say, it's all enough, whatever I have, you are the richest person. So this human ecology allows us to live a happy and a joyful and a content life if you are able to see who you are. So I think I will be. Remember? So far we have been digging outside, but now we have to dig ourselves. So find out what kind of resources you can compensate the damage already done in the natural world. So you're not going to address this problem with science and technology as we usually would love to do, not with finance, not with the. So that's how you find the resources, spiritual resources, which can be compensated throughout the world. Number one, okay? Number two. So this is the one that come up with the solution. My anguish is, how can we connect with the natural world? How can we connect? For example, frogs, they are absolutely necessary to us to keep the environment clean, to keep a check on mosquitoes. So every creature, bees, absolutely necessary for pollination. If bees disappear, within 20 years, all plantations will die. See, they are sine qua non. You know what is sine qua non? That is a Latin word for, you can't do without them. Sine qua non. It's a unconditional. They are required. So like that, everybody is required to keep the common good of an ecosystem or a common good of the universe. So what kind of things humans can do to keep the common good? So we should establish a connection. Today, if you disappear, ecosystem will be benefiting. If frogs disappearing, ecosystem will be collapsing. See? So how can you really become sine qua non condition for the nature? The nature is begging, please, humans we want. Let him be with us. They are the best species ever Earth produced. You think nature is going to say that? It's going to say that. It depends on your discussion. So you understood a little bit? So very tricky, even for me it is confused. But I hope you will clarify my mind. That's a very difficult subject I'm giving you. You are the people who put to work. The third group, how many? Please? Okay, third group you can talk about the first theme I discussed, energy energy conservation and energy efficiency. In your home, how you are going to use it, and in the church, so in the society, so how are they going to teach people how to conserve energy and how to use it efficiently? Okay? Number 4, you take transportation, because that's the biggest impact we are making in the environment. That's a big pollution going on. So transportation. How we are going to mitigate the impact. Okay? And the last one I would say, food production. That is the major funding money we are spending for food. How can we not food, purchasing, shopping. So how can you be a smart buyer? And how can you reject, how can you recycle, reuse, all those are, how can you react, how can you reject? So like that, about purchasing, consumption. So first group is human ecology. Second group is how to connect with the natural world in a symbiotic way. Symbiotic way means we are beneficial to them and they are also beneficial to us. The third one is energy. The fourth one is transportation. The last one is shopping. Everybody loves shopping. So how to be a wise shopper? Huh? 8 groups, Oh, okay, that means we'll put there also production of food. How you can buy the food or how you can cultivate the food. How can you produce? How you can eat smart. And at the same time, mitigate greenhouse gases. Okay, that is the number 6. Number 7 will be water conservation. Okay? The last one will be anything interesting? Adaptation, very difficult, but if you want to do that, I will be very happy. Okay, you're going to, maybe this is a good start. First of all, you identify the limiting factors. Okay, I think it's a challenge. They want to take a challenge. I want to avoid that because I don't want to confuse you. That's a challenging theme. I'm very happy that you mentioned it. Okay, you got them right? Yes. So you come up and you're going to talk the next. So
maybe for the adaptation, you choose, depending how, no need to go into many, choose 2 or 3, maybe 2, and then what's the adaptation you're proposing? Okay? We can't solve all the world's problems here now. Keep some for somebody else to do. Okay, so take your tea, go into your groups, come back here by 3:25. Okay, so it's intense work and work. Alright, to get your...
The abiotic factors. So now I'm adding soil and stones. They're right here. See? Abiotic, non-living. And air. Air is shouting there, telling, why don't you mention me? Come on, I'm doing some job. Look at that sound. As if the wind is talking to me. The sound. And then the water. You have water. And the light. Without sun, there's no life. So now we added. Now the living and the non-living. Now it becomes an ecosystem. So this ecosystem, when it joins with mountainous ecosystem or desert ecosystem, there are 3 or 4 ecosystems together joining called biome. Yeah. And because when you put all of them together in the international level, it's called biosphere. So this is how it's organized. Individual, population, community, ecosystem, biome, biosphere. Now, this lesson is science. But the important lesson what Pope is telling you, that is going to shock you. Now Pope is telling, so far, okay. 4.5 billion years. Life started 3.8 billion and the fishes evolved in 60 million. And then so far, life has been developed in different ways. Pope is telling, there is one species is missing now. So, these are all working for the common good. Only for the good of the universe and good of the community, good of the population, good of the ecosystem, good of the biome, good of the biosphere. In other words, common good. They are integral. There is no hierarchy. There is no Pope here, there is no Archbishop here. Everybody is equal, egalitarian existence. Producer, consumer, decomposer, all of them are built on egalitarian existence, like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Hierarchy is no. When there is hierarchy, you fight. Every conflict is inevitable in hierarchical setup, in a structure. In the egalitarian existence, there is no conflict. That is why gods can live for eternity. We call him eternal God because there is no hierarchy. That is what ecosystem is all about, like Father, Son. Producers don't consider themselves that they are the Brahmins. I am the high caste. The decomposers in an ecosystem, they never consider themselves, I am a low caste, I am recycling, I am dirty. No. All of them are equal. Nobody interferes. Producer doesn't interfere with decomposers. Decomposer doesn't interfere with consumers. Everybody, they know their limits and also they know their place. They never intrude in another's place. So that is why millions of years these ecosystems are thriving. That is the secret of it. Now, Pope is adding only one factor to the ecosystem. This is a peaceful ecosystem, integral ecosystem. This is joy and perfection. For the 4.5 billion years, this must be pros. These are PhDs. They know everything they do as second nature. Everything is innate, it's inherent. So now, come, Priya, come. And my little friend also from France, please come. So now they are adding one species. I don't mean that you are bad, okay? Please, that's just an example. So now, Pope is adding such a tranquil community. We are adding one species called Homo sapiens. That is Homo sapien individual, Homo sapien population. Everything is tipping off out of balance. These are all based on common good, for the good of the whole ecosystem. The latest arrival, that is, we are the last in the chain of evolution to appear in an ecosystem, and that species is working for only self-interest, ego, selfishness. So now the whole ecosystem goes chaotic. They are destroyed. They go out of balance. I don't have to, humans, even Pope don't have to say that. Even animals know that we are goofing up. They are laughing at you. These people, those stupid, they have big head, nothing, even ant looks at you. My last brother and sister are the most stupid in the whole family. You know what? Did I say the fish story? A small fish and a mother fish? I didn't do it. So the mother fish was teaching, giving swimming lessons to a baby fish. Baby fish. Then mom told, Mom, this is honey. This is our home. This is ocean. This is water. That is our habitat. In other words, our home. Then the baby fish looked at land there, at the edge of the sea. What is that, Mom? Then the mom told, that's land. And the baby fish asked, anybody living out there? The mother told, yeah, this is water. Fish live here. That is land. Selfish live there. This is ocean. Fish live here. That is land. Selfish live there. So, and nature ecosystem is big. One mountain is called an ecosystem. There are different ecosystems like tundra, taiga, boreal forest, deciduous forest, and tropical rainforest, lakes, rivers, deserts. There are chaparral, grasslands, savanna. All those are different ecosystems. That is natural ecosystem made by nature. This is human-made ecosystem. Even your house is an ecosystem. It is made by you. So in every ecosystem there are three superstars. One is producer, another one is consumer, another one is decomposer. Only three. Producer, consumer, decomposer. Like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Father, Son. Father is the producer, Son is the consumer, and the Spirit of God is the decomposer. So we can compare that way. So all these three, there are hundreds of relationships and hundreds of organisms. So producer, consumer, and decomposer, how they are organized, I'm going to show you. This is individual. Let us say this individual is a deer. Deer, you know deer? Okay, this is one. Now, I want to invite you to come here. This is individual so far. Now, it becomes a population. So now you call deer population. The first you call organism. You are also an organism in the ecosystem. You are not man or something. Organism, that's a general term. This is individual organism. Now they became population. Okay, I want you to come here, please. Just help me. So here comes, this is the, let us say, tiger. Tiger. This is the organism. Organism. It's an individual. You come. Now, this is the tiger population. Okay? So this is, we have animals only. So now we are going to add also plants. So you come please, can you? These are trees. And humility and simplicity, that is a strange thing for the present generations. We never even practiced about it. Yesterday he wrote so beautifully. So I think we know that if we don't act like these little creatures, we are saying goodbye to planet Earth. The ecosystem will be very happy to shed you like a piece of dust. They don't worry at all. Your disappearance is nothing, even dinosaurs disappear. This Mother Earth has birthed millions of species, and probably she was crying when each species was going extinct. I know that. So they will go away. Human sapiens, he will be retired, and probably she will give birth to a better species. That makes us, Homo sapiens is the only failure project of the earth. Only failure project. Our mother ever designed. I want to teach a small, you go, they don't go. They go, you go. Only that's it. You go, they don't go. They go, you go. In other words, if you disappear 7 billion tonight, tomorrow sun will rise. Everything will be normal. So if you go, they don't, everything will be there. They go, you go. In other words, I am reversing now. If they all disappear, would you remain? Yeah, that is the wisdom. That is the you can shake your hands like that. They do so beautifully, They walk and they put the fingers like this and they dance up beautiful. This lyric sounds like rap. You go, they don't go. They go, you go. Come on. You go. They don't go. They go, you go. Very simple. You go, they don't go, they go, you go. You go, they don't go, they go, you go. Very fast, you get there. Go, they go, you go. It's very simple. You should teach to the children also. You go, they don't go, they go, you go. By all means. Already it's on YouTube. You type Raya Makasi, you go, you write. That's it. Enter. You will see how many priests are saying the same poem. I'm promoting that around the world. So if you have a chance, you make your own tune, that poem, and you just upload it in the YouTube. Let the world learn this small little poem. It's called ecology poem, okay? Or ecosystem poem. You go, they don't go, they go, you go. So you go now. Yeah. 3 words: Swadeshi, Swaraj, and Sarvodaya. Swadeshi means I am concerned only about my immediate neighbor. That is the Swadeshi principle. I worry about you, my neighbor. I want the best out of my neighbor. So I produce also with my hands. I produce with my hands and give it to you. I am a potter. I know how to make pots, so I make pots for you. And you are a carpenter, I don't know carpentry, and you make a chair or a table and you give it to me. And I'm a barber, so I cut your hair. You are a dhobi, you wash my clothes for me. So this is the way every village economy is structured. You see, people take pride because I am a tailor, I produced that shirt for you. If there is a tailor here who knows to stitch this cloth, he'll be proud about my presentation today. He will tell you, this shirt I stitched for him. So that is the way. In society we live, I help you and you help me. It is grooming. I worry about my neighbor. Don't worry about American girl or American neighbor or American uncle. They are all okay. They are all worrying about for themselves. So once you worry about immediate neighbor, the whole world is safe. So that is what Swadeshi principle is all about. Mahatma Gandhi, Sarvodaya. Sarvodaya means upliftment of all, welfare of all. That is integral ecology. Integral ecology simply says it recommends the welfare of all. That is the basic principle. So transportation, so 153 paragraph, please read it, what Pope is talking about transportation. Nucleic acid, that Walter and Crick, they invented that, I think. Those are the doctors. So the double helix, today we are familiar with our human DNA, and also it is built by adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. These are the elements. I told you, banana, mosquito, humans, everybody share the common elements. There are more than 20 amino acids from which this deoxyribonucleic acid is made. So he says even animals carry identical elements or identical DNA. He talks about our mammalian ape family. They are very closest cousins of our species. So he writes in 138, a good part of our genetic code is shared by many living beings. In other words, we are integral with animals. So don't think humans, you are completely isolated. No, you are integral with the natural world. He shows the closest connection in order to understand the rest of our connections. Those are all implied, but the closest connection he wants to talk about it. See here, we are not disconnected from the rest of creatures, but joined in the splendid universal communion. That is a brilliant word, the last word. Splendid universal communion. Only popes can write. Nobody can write like this. Only popes. Such a brilliant sentence. We are not disconnected from the rest of creatures, but joined in a splendid universal communion. We can summarize it in one word. We know that word. What is it? Kinship. That is what the classical biblical word, kinship. That means we are brothers and sisters. So Pope is telling very much similar our DNA with other creatures. In other words, these creatures are identical with the human DNA. This is that orangutan. That is your ape, no? That's your country cousin. He is entirely Asian. He can't live in Africa, only Asia. So only one ape we have in Asia. Other two apes also Asian. They are lesser apes, they call it, small apes. Gibbon and Siamang. They are very, very small apes. These are the great apes. This is a gorilla baby I brought. Where is the big one? Actually, I give talk to college students. Always I have this small, because college students can relate so closely, being young, no? The big ape means generation gap. The kids can't be more personal. So I think now there are youngsters here, also little older folk. I wish that I brought the big gorilla. They weigh 500 to 600 kilos. That is the biggest sissy in our Homo sapiens family. So in our family, we can be proud. He weighs almost 600 kilos. So it's our family album. What are you looking for? This is our family album, lost album. I found it. So this is 97% identical with our human DNA. This is a bonobo chimp. It's African, all of them are African. And this chimp is a 98% identical with human DNA. This bonobo chimp is called second chimpanzee. The first chimpanzee is next, I'm going to show you. Yeah, this is the 99.9%. Very, very, almost identical with humans. And it's amazing, it's amazing. It's called first chimpanzee. This is the second chimpanzee, bonobo. Third chimpanzee is Homo sapiens. You would have read in paper, no? We are known as third chimpanzee. What's happening? For example, this chimpanzee nurses the baby eye contact. Only human person, when you feed the young, you look eye contact. All other animals, they feed at the back. So, and also when bonobos, they watch nighttime. If you see bonobos, they converse with each other by looking at the stars and moon. They watch for hours and they discuss among themselves like humans. And also, this is the only one ape can have sex in the missionary position like humans. All of them are doggy position. Only this ape is eye contact, face to face. This chimp can have sex. So this is the second chimpanzee. And the first one is this. And the third one is this. Simply telling that we are very closely related to the natural world. That's it. He's not telling, okay, Pope has told we came from monkeys. No, he doesn't say that. He just says we are very much related, connected with the natural world. Okay, these are the 10 stuff I'm going to tell you. You know, brother sun system, what I already told you. Okay. Pope Francis. Oh, it's all finished, no? Just give me a second. I'll just domestic spirituality. So you can really reduce your transportation by applying domestic spirituality to your personal lifestyle, and it should become a habit. You know what it is? Don't travel by plane, don't travel by train, don't travel by car, don't travel by even bicycle, don't even use your food to travel, just stay home. So that is the domestic spirituality. In other words, stay at home. Home is the place where you find peace. There's no place like home. That is a sweet home we call. East or west, home is the best. So we know that, but we don't practice at all. Why? So you can do this, buy locally. First of all, eat locally. That means eat in a restaurant, eat home. That is the home cooked food is the best. But if you want to eat just the restaurant, just walkable distance. You don't have to go to Bangkok for breakfast, lunch to Siam Reap in Cambodia. So you should stop that kind of, just develop a relationship with the restaurant where they cook clean food for you. If you are a regular customer, I think they know your eating habits and they will compare, they will adjust to your lifestyle. It was only there. So just encourage him to go for organic farming, natural seeds, and good for your health. You buy it locally, just in the local market. As I told you, stay home. He will come and deliver the vegetables also for you. You don't have to walk also. So that kind of strategy you should design, and buy locally, and you sell locally whatever you produce, and also pray locally. That is the most important thing. You should start to believe that Jesus to whom you pray is the same Jesus you go to find in Holy Land. And the Mary you pray to, the same Mary is in Velangani. Many people, they don't believe the local Mary and local Jesus. They think it is a fake, counterfeit of pilgrimage. In other words, God pollutes. In the name of God, we pollute. And at last, marry the local girl, just neighbor. Just plenty of girls around you. Look at them, they are beautiful girls. Look at the girls, they are so beautiful. I wish that I had my younger days. I wish I am not a Catholic priest. I'm going to tell Bishop Julian I'm quitting here anyway. I found beautiful girls here. So what I'm telling, there are girls in the neighborhood, smart girls, and you can find easily one even in the next street. And you got uncles. Just you call uncle, 40 uncles will come and listen to you. But what is the need of going to America and find a girl there, like catching a snake and bringing a snake and put him into... You go to America for the betrothal or the engagement, everybody has to go in a plane, carbon emission. When the marriage happens, again another 100 people go from Kuala Lumpur to New York, pollution. When the baby is born, again everybody goes. And then every festival in the family, you have to go in a plane. And the man who married an American girl, if he wants to call uncle, he has to wait 24 hours, travel in a plane. Then he's already tired, he can't even utter the name uncle, he sleeps. Only next morning he says, uncle, how are you? So what I'm telling you, see, very much, when Pope writes like about the new lifestyle and the new habits, there he says, happiness means to know how to limit your needs. So that kind of writing. The last chapter I fell in love with. It's a very simple, and also it doesn't take too much efforts on the part of the faithful to practice. Very simple things he talks about, what to do at home, in the community, and how to limit your wants. And also he goes deep inside of yourself and says, you got everything within you, and outside is nothing. Nothing will satisfy you from outside. Only the things which spring out from within, they will be the lasting. And so that will be the helpful for the sustainable development. So that's what he's telling. Last chapter is very practical. But if I want to say from the Pope's viewpoint, I will say chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the cream of the crop. That is the main, because Pope Francis prescribes medicine for the ailing environment, for the ailing mother. So that is the medicinal prescription. And thank God, Pope's prescription we can read, not the doctor's prescription. Anyway, it's very hard to read this. Yeah. So number 4. Yeah.
I've been there every year in the Fukushima itself, where the nuclear power plant is located. It's quite interesting. As the sister mentioned, I agree with her totally. It's the stewardship that is important. I have a background in nuclear physics as well. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yes, I'm qualified to operate nuclear plants. But anyway, my job now, I apply nuclear technology in medicine. I work in the University Hospital. We have something called nuclear medicine, radiology. So we introduce radioisotope in the body to look at where the cancer is located. That's my main job. And we come back to that. The nuclear power is very safe. The technology, the science is well understood. Unfortunately, it's the management. Now, what happened to both the Chernobyl? Chernobyl was the Russian technology had some intrinsic failure, and also with the bureaucracy there, and this really real disaster. But for Fukushima, the technology was good, efficient. Unfortunately, some human errors that the bureaucracy, and also we didn't expect these triple disasters happening at the same time. Now, what happened? And then I work on risk communication. I do a lot in that. Fukushima, I didn't. People perception has what to call. It was accelerated, amplified. It's called risk amplification. So people all over the world were scared about nuclear power, including Malaysia. We had planned and we scrapped it. Malaysia will resurrect that in 2035 when we just put on cold storage of the nuclear power plant. So same with Vietnam also, they just built and paused. If we continue to use the fossil plants, the fossil fuel will be exhausted pretty soon. and others like wind and others that's not that efficient yet. So and many countries they still need this a lot of power. Right? Like in China, India, they're hungry for power. So nuclear so far have been proven to be the most efficient and also very green. And as the father mentioned, the disposal, the proper way. But a lot why things not happening is go back to human greed and all the big business. So a lot of waste, like in desert, you can bury the waste, but somehow many people don't understand. They thought they might pollute the surrounding, and they go against that. They protest, and a lot of various obstacles to the successful implementation of the clean nuclear energy. So this is some background for you. Anyway, they mentioned earlier, Father, there are 17 points. The very first is end poverty. Number 2 is stop hunger, and then 3, clean water, and so on. Out of the 17, there's some on education, some on equality, justice. About 14 or so are really what is same as our church teaching on social justice, social teaching of the church, and Laudato Si. It's wonderful. I wonder whether the UN people, they have really studied or copied Holy Fathers. That's wonderful. But the problem is they don't know how to do it. I think well, that's what I've been doing with Fukushima, working with them, bringing in this quite subtly about social justice, how we can do like end poverty. Beside all the NGO giving money, but it doesn't work. Our poverty level is going up. What happened is the UN, they bring in a lot of money, but they never tackle the fundamental, the root causes. I think Laudato Si mentioned about the human cause of it, right? The root causes of all these things like corruption, human greed, all that, with something that the UN don't address, and they really cannot do that.
It's come from the top of the line, no? He's a top man in the United Nations, and it's beautiful. Today he is present here. I thank him. Yeah, no?
I am pro-nuclear power. Let me state some facts. The US Navy has been running nuclear reactors in their submarines and aircraft carriers. Not a single accident, right? Number 2, God has even provided us an example of nuclear meltdown. There is some spot in Africa where there's an accumulation of uranium naturally occurring, and there's nuclear reaction occurred there. Okay? So God has given us something wonderful, a fuel that is clean and can last, and it's up to us to make use of it. Now, this is not the low-lying fruit. It is high above in the tree. All of us have been using the low-lying fruit, petroleum, coal, easy to do. But nuclear is very tough. But it's possible. Now, there's a new generation of nuclear scientists who are proposing the 4th generation nuclear reactors. France has tried it, the pebble-bed reactor. I think they had problems with it. They sold the technology to China. China's Tsinghua University has developed, produced, and run the HDR-10 pebble-bed reactor. And they have successfully tested it for meltdown. They turned off all the coolant, all the electricity, it never melted down. So it's safe. And there are other nuclear reactors, new designs. The US hasn't built one yet. It's called the S-Star. It's completely sealed, 150 tons. You transport it anywhere. Once it runs out of fuel, you send it back to the factory. They will reopen it, refuel it. It's not a reality yet. China HDR-10 is. China and India are also looking into thorium. It's less radioactive than uranium, and they can burn up most of that fuel. And there are breeder reactor designs that can actually destroy nuclear waste that is present now. It is up to the nuclear reactions. You know how to manage it, you can actually destroy nuclear waste. How good can that be?
Thank you so much. Still, you know, the best option is Pope Francis is writing, when there is very, very cold, you buy a sweater. When it is too hot, open the window. So that tells you, any energy, nuclear or fossil fuel or coal, you can just stop it and open the window and put a sweater. That's it. But anyway, we are not going back to, our people will not go back to Stone Age. We are progressing. So we can find, our future journalists can come up with a new technology. You know, one is civilization, they harness their own sun's energy, okay? And then comes civilization 2, they harness the galactic energy, like other stars energy, you know, in the same, we belong to Milky Way galaxy, and they can go even to the center of the star and they can harness the energy, like Sagittarius, that is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. This civilization 3, they harness the intergalactic energy. This Milky Way, the next is Andromeda galaxy. They harness the intergalactic. So now you ask the question, where we belong? Where humans belong? Civilization 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that Japanese doctor says neither of one or two other. We are type 0 civilization. That's what it is. 0. Because we don't harness our suns, no galactic, no intergalactic. We still burn the dirty coal. That is civilization 0. So it's a long way to go, very long way to go. But we in Asia, in this sections, can we harness geothermal energy? Geothermal, because they say it's a very clean and efficient energy. It's a large amount of stuff we can produce. Scandinavian countries, that's a good day. What do you think about geothermal?
It's possible, but we are really not exploring that. One main reason is that the oil companies are impeding the progress of this research.
Fossil fuel companies.
Yeah, because they have very much of economic interest in all those. So a lot of research, and even, for example, scientists want to get funding to do research on alternative energies. It's pretty limited funding available for them.
Okay.
So that is one. Well, go back to the human cause of the root, corruption, greed, and others that prevent us from looking for real clean energy.